Last night's Who Wants to Be a Millionaire descended into absolute chaos when Taylor Swift declared, "I'm done with this show," and walked off set, leaving Jimmy Kimmel speechless and his reputation in tatters. What started as a celebrity charity edition became the most explosive confrontation in game show history. The 14-time Grammy winner didn't just leave. She exposed Kimmel's hypocrisy in front of millions. The ABC studios buzzed with excitement before taping. Taylor Swift had agreed to play for her education through music charity, supporting music programs in underfunded schools. The audience, filled with Swifties who'd won tickets through a lottery, could barely contain their enthusiasm. Kimmel sat behind his host's desk looking relaxed, shuffling his question cards with practiced ease. Swift entered to deafening applause, waving graciously to her fans before taking the hot seat. She wore a simple blazer, her signature red lipstick perfectly applied. "Taylor, wonderful to have you here," Kimmel began with his trademark grin. "Playing for education through music. Tell us about this charity." Swift leaned forward earnestly. "Thanks, Jimmy. Music education saved my life. It gave me a voice, a purpose. Every kid deserves that chance, regardless of their zip code." "Beautiful sentiment," Kimmel said, though his smile seemed forced. "Giving kids a voice. Speaking of voices, yours has been pretty loud lately about politics. Some might say too loud for a pop star." Swift's expression shifted slightly. "I think using your platform for good is a responsibility, Jimmy." "Is it though?" Kimmel pressed. "Or is it just good marketing? I mean, you went from country sweetheart avoiding politics to suddenly being very vocal. Convenient timing with your pop transition, wouldn't you say?" The audience grew quiet. This wasn't the celebration they expected. Swift maintained her composure. "I grew up, Jimmy. I realized staying silent wasn't neutral. It was complicit. Let's play the game," Kimmel said abruptly. "For $1,000, which Shakespeare play features the line Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou Romeo?" "Romeo and Juliet," Swift answered. "Correct. Speaking of romantic tragedies, you've written quite a few songs about your exes. Don't you think it's a bit hypocritical to demand privacy while mining your relationships for content?" Swift's eyes flashed. "I write about my experiences. That's what artists do. But you profit from those experiences," Kimmel continued. "These men can't tell their side without being labeled as the villain. Isn't that a form of manipulation? Are we playing a game or conducting a therapy session?" Swift asked coldly. "I'm just curious about the ethics," Kimmel said. "You present yourself as this feminist icon, but you've built a career on playing the victim." The audience gasped. Several fans shouted stop, but Kimmel pressed on. "For $2,000, which element has the atomic number 79? "Gold," Swift replied, her voice tight. "Gold, how appropriate. Let's talk about your net worth. Over $1 billion now? Hard to play the relatable girl next door when you're flying private jets everywhere. What's your carbon footprint again?" Swift stood up slowly. "What is this, Jimmy?" "It's accountability," Kimmel replied. "You want to be political? Let's discuss your private jet usage while preaching about climate change." "I've offset my carbon emissions," Swift said firmly. "With money," Kimmel shot back. "Throwing money at problems. How very billionaire of you." "At least I'm trying," Swift responded, her composure cracking. "Trying? Or performing?" Kimmel stood too. "Everything you do is calculated. The surprise albums, the Easter eggs, the victim narratives. You're not an artist, you're a corporation." "I'm done with this show," Swift announced, her voice cutting through the studio. "Of course you are," Kimmel laughed bitterly. "Run away when someone challenges your carefully crafted image." Swift turned, her eyes blazing. "Carefully crafted? I've been in this industry since I was 14. I've had grown men criticize my dating life, my body, my choices. I've rebuilt my career from scratch twice. Don't talk to me about crafted." "But you've used all that for sympathy," Kimmel insisted. "Every setback becomes an album. Every criticism becomes a song. That's called art, Jimmy," Swift said. "Turning pain into something beautiful. Or profitable," Kimmel countered. "Why can't it be both?" Swift demanded. "Why do I have to choose between success and authenticity?" "Because you claim to be different," Kimmel said desperately. "You claim to be real." "I am real," Swift replied. "Real enough to admit my mistakes. Real enough to grow. Real enough to walk away from this ambush." She turned to the camera. "To my fans watching, I'm sorry this wasn't what you expected. Please donate to education through music directly." Running to your fans, Kimmel called out. Your army of defenders who attack anyone who criticizes you. Swift stopped. I don't control my fans, Jimmy. But maybe if you weren't attacking me for charity appearance, they wouldn't need to defend me. This isn't an attack, Kimmel protested. It's journalism. No, it's jealousy, Swift said quietly. You're jealous that I can fill stadiums while you're losing viewers. The studio went silent. Kimmel's face turned red. That's ridiculous. Is it? Swift asked. You're sitting here, attacking a woman half your age who came to raise money for kids. What does that say about you? It says I'm not fooled by the act, Kimmel replied weakly. There is no act, Swift said. This is who I am. Someone who writes songs, makes mistakes, and tries to do better. I'm done with this show, Jimmy. And based on your ratings, so is everyone else. She walked toward the exit. Kimmel called after her. This is what you do? Play victim and leave. Swift paused without turning. I'm not playing anything. I'm choosing my peace over your need for controversy. You need controversy, Kimmel shouted. It's your whole brand. My brand is authenticity, Swift replied. Something you wouldn't understand. Authenticity, Kimmel's voice cracked. You have a team of publicists. And you have a team of writers, Swift shot back. But at least I perform my own material. She left. The door closed definitively. Kimmel stood alone, realizing the magnitude of his mistake. The audience of Swifties began filing out, many in tears, others furious. We'll be right back, Kimmel mumbled to empty chairs. Backstage, Swift's team surrounded her protectively. Taylor, are you okay? Check the charity's donation page, she said simply. Her manager looked at his phone. Donations are up 2,000%. Then something good came from this. In the studio, Kimmel faced his producer. How bad is it? It's already viral. Taylor Swift destroys Kimmel is trending worldwide. Social media exploded. Jimmy Kimmel just committed career suicide attacking Taylor Swift, got 5 million likes in an hour. Kimmel really thought he could break Taylor? She survived Kanye, Scooter, and worse. Another tweet read, I'm done with this show is my new motto, posted millions. The Swifties mobilized like never before. They flooded ABC with complaints. They contacted sponsors. They made Kimmel is over party trend globally. His show's social media filled with snake emojis and I'm done with this show comments. Kimmel tried apologizing the next night. I want to address what happened with Taylor Swift, he began. The audience booed. Some walked out immediately. His studio audience, once loyal, had turned. Swift posted one Instagram story, a link to education through music with the caption, Let's focus on what matters. It got 40 million views. The charity received more donations in 1 week than the previous year combined. The fallout was swift and brutal. Sponsors pulled out within days. Celebrity guests canceled. ABC executives held crisis meetings. Kimmel's ratings, already struggling, plummeted to record lows. Industry insiders revealed Kimmel had planned the ambush. He thought catching Taylor off guard would go viral, one source said. He didn't expect her to fight back with such grace. The incident became a cultural moment. I'm done with this show appeared on t-shirts, became a TikTok sound, and inspired countless memes. It represented standing up to bullies, choosing peace over conflict, and knowing your worth. Taylor never addressed it again. She didn't need to. Her dignity in that moment spoke volumes. She released her next album to record-breaking numbers. The lead single's bridge included the line, some people build themselves up by tearing others down, which fans immediately connected to Kimmel. Kimmel's show struggled for months. Guest bookings dried up. The network considered cancellation. He'd attacked America's sweetheart during a charity event and paid the price. The contrast was stark. Swift turned the negative into donations for kids. Kimmel turned a charity event into a personal attack. One rose above. One fell below. Media studies programs analyzed the incident for years. The night Jimmy Kimmel forgot that authenticity isn't about being perfect. It's about being real. And Taylor Swift was real enough to say, I'm done, and mean it. The empty hot seat remained on stage after she left. A symbol of the moment when grace met grimness. When charity met cynicism. When a young woman stood up to a veteran host and won by walking away. I'm done with this show. 5 words that ended Kimmel's credibility. 5 words that proved sometimes the best response to an attack is to simply leave. 5 words that showed millions of young women that you don't have to tolerate disrespect, even from powerful men. Kimmel learned too late, that some stars shine too bright to be dimmed, that some voices are too strong to be silenced, that when you come for Taylor Swift, you better not miss. Because her fans don't forget. Her charity doesn't suffer. And her dignity doesn't break. The show that was meant to raise money for education became an education itself. A lesson in grace under pressure. A masterclass in maintaining composure. A reminder that walking away isn't weakness. Sometimes it's the strongest thing you can do.